Hey, today we're going to talk about value and how you can use your value when you're coloring in things. Like maybe you have this picture of a rose that you want to shade in. So value is one of the elements of art, and it really just means lights and darks and that whole scale, that whole range of your darkest dark all the way to your lightest light. And this is called a value scale. This is something that artists practice with their pencils so that they can control how light or dark they're shading something in. And once you have this value scale mastered, you then try and do the value scale without drawing the boxes to see if you can get one nice smooth transition from dark all the way to light. And what makes this fun is when you start coloring things in and you're using value when you do that, it just makes your coloring look way more interesting. So if I had this picture of this rose here, I'm going to try and color in each petal so that it starts out very, very dark and fades to light from the center. The rose is something that has what's called radial symmetry. That means it's got a center that things radiate out from the center. So that means I'm going to try and keep the centers of things really dark and try and fade out as they get closer to the outside. When you're shading, you can use any material you'd like really to shade. It doesn't have to be a pencil. It could be a colored pencil. It could be a crayon. Marker would be a little bit trickier to do. You would have to do some kind of hatching or line work or something, but you'd have to add a texture to it. So I'm just going to use this red colored pencil here and kind of show you how to shade your rose in. So you got to start with the center. And if this is the center of my rose, I want every part of every petal that's closer to the center to be shaded as dark as possible. So I'm going to start with this one little petal, and I'm going to put this part really dark by pressing really hard with my pencil. And then as I start moving across the petal to the outside, this is the outside edge, I need to start lightening up my pencil so that it almost fades and it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. And if you need to practice doing stuff like this, you can certainly do a few of these, they're super zoomed out, a few value scales so that you can practice. This side over here, again, I'm going to make it as dark as I can towards the center. And then light, light, light. I'm just pressing a lot lighter with my pencil as I get to the outside edge. I'm barely coloring that outside edge. Okay, same thing over here. This is where the center of the flower is, so this is the part where I'm going to leave dark. Going to make this a little dark over here too. And then fade it out a little bit. Once you really understand the pattern that you're doing here, it gets a lot easier as you continue to fill in the rose. So you just have to figure out where the petal is facing the center, and you have to figure out how to get it to go from dark to light. And do that with all of your petals. It's kind of a fun process, soothing. So this petal, things are starting to get a little bigger. So I'm going to make the entire inside edge of the petal really dark where it touches the light spots on the previous petals. That's going to provide some contrast. Contrast is when you're putting something very, very light and very, very dark, or anything that's opposite next to each other in art. And it's going to help these petals look more three-dimensional. like they're popping off the paper. Gonna zoom out a little bit for you. Again, dark around all of these other edges where this petal is touching these inside edges. I'm going to go really dark. And then fade it out. This one is not gradual of a transition enough. It just looks like it's half dark and half light. So I'm going to try and get some more middle tones, some medium value in there. Okay, this one here, same thing. All right, and I would just keep shading each petal like this as I get further and further away. Okay, good luck. Have fun. This is a really fun technique you could use to color basically anything in. It'll make it look more interesting. Is this shading and value? And here's my finished rose. From this point, you want to think about how you want to add your stem and if you want to color anything in the background around it or behind it.